Before we begin, I would like to mention that I'm not going over the comics in this storyline, so if you want one that's more in-depth, many great creators have storylines that go super deep into the lore for the hardcore fans. And with that out of the way, we begin. First, we start out with Chapter 1. Fortnite is a third-person shooter game that was originally released as a zombie survival game that is now known as Save the World. On September 26, 2017, they released a second game mode called Battle Royale, where the objective is to outlast 99 other players in the 100-player game by jumping out of a flying bus to land on an island and get weapons and healing items. The game blew up in popularity as many video game streamers started to showcase the game on their channels, such as Ninja, Tfue, and tons of others. Due to that, another Battle Royale game called PUBG noticed that everyone was playing Fortnite instead of PUBG. Since PUBG came out before Fortnite, the team behind PUBG decided to sue Epic Games, also known as the creators of Fortnite. PUBG ended up losing the lawsuit, so Epic Games continued on their way to make one of the most popular video games ever. When the first Battle Pass launched for Season 2, everything was normal, just your average cosmetics in a video game. And this followed with Season 3, adding even more cosmetic items and skins for people to unlock. Then, the Season 4 trailer released. Meteors started crashing into the islands and destroying the buildings and towns. During the season, we get the first look at the group known as the Seven. The Seven member, known as the Visitor, visited the island inside of one of the meteors. The Visitor launches a rocket into the sky, which comes back down while almost crashing into the island. However, right before it hits the ground, it goes into a crack, which seems to teleport it. As the rocket flies around the island, it goes into many cracks and then finally flies up into one final crack in the sky. After this, even weirder things started to happen. In the Season 5 trailer, it shows these teleporters that are called rifts. These rifts are the cracks that the rocket flew into. The rifts pulled things from other universes to the Fortnite island. During Season 5, Epic Games was holding a tournament for money, and the streamers called Ninja and Dr. Lupo were in an event competing for the money, when, out of nowhere, lightning strikes the island, and then something spawns in out of nowhere, a giant purple cube. After the tournament, the cube stayed on the island, and soon the community named it Kevin the Cube. Later during Season 5, Kevin slowly moves around the island and then sinks into Loot Lake. The Season 6 was released, and in the trailer, the ground starts to shake, and all of a sudden, the house on the lake starts to float up into the sky as the islanders stare in shock, except for Skull Trooper. Later in the season, Kevin the Cube explodes, creating a large crater in Loot Lake. Then, in Season 7, not much happened besides the Ice King making half of the maps have snow. In Season 8, a volcano was added to the map. At the end of Season 8, that same volcano blew up, which destroyed a lot of the map and also had an event at the end where players voted for an item that was previously removed to come back into the game. Then, Season 9 began. We were shown video of two characters named Jonesy and Peely getting locked in a bunker when the volcano exploded. Luckily, they were not going to be bored, since there was a ton of games and activities to do. However, during Season 9, in the ice, there was a monster that was slowly thawing out. So, to save the Fortnite island from the monster, someone named Paradigm, who is believed to be allied with the Seven, but not a member of the Seven, built a mech to defeat the monster. During the fight, the mech starts losing, and so it grabs the glowing orb that is called the 0 point. The 0 point powers up the mech's punch and defeats the monster. After the fight, the mech flies off into the sky and disappears. Then, the start of Season 10 shows Jonesy being sucked into the 0 point and shows a bunch of different items teleporting around that includes the rocket from Season 4. When the trailer is almost over, it shows the stuff in that space came to the island, causing chaos to ensue. The event that happened was another rocket, but made by the 7 member called the Scientist, to fix the issues with the island, which kinda made the 0 point just turn into a black hole which destroyed the island. Now, on to Chapter 2. This chapter of Fortnite was a big one. It started where we left off, the black hole. It zoomed out to show a whole new island, with people just minding their business. Then, the battle bus enters, and Fortnite begins once again. Nothing really happened in Season 1 besides a non-canon Star Wars event. Chapter 2 Season 2 started with a man named Midas who runs an agency called Ghost that fought against the team named Shadow. However, Midas was just using his agents to create a machine that was going to destroy the storm so they could escape the loop. More on that later. The machine ended up turning the storm into water and flooded the island instead of getting rid of the storm. During Season 3 of Chapter 2, it was just the island slowly unflooding. Season 4 started with Thor summoning different Marvel characters to help him defeat Galactus and save the 0 point. Throughout the season, changes around the map happen to prepare for the event when Galactus arrives. During the live event, Iron Man instructs you to fly your battle bus armed with bombs into Galactus so he eats it and explodes. Before you do, Galactus pulls the 0 point out of the island. When Season 5 starts, we see a new organization named I.O., or the Imagined Order. The Imagined Order is run by a person named Dr. Sloan. Jonesy is an agent for I.O. He has a lot of different versions of him stuck in the loop called snapshots. Agent Jonesy is sent by Dr. Sloan to fix the 0 point and protect it so no one escapes the loop. Now that we've talked about the loop, I shall explain one of the most important things about Fortnite. The Fortnite Island is controlled by the Imagined Order, and the people that are in the loop are known as loopers. They are stuck in, well, you guessed it, a loop, where their memories and identities are forgotten. They can't speak as well. The loop happens every 22 minutes, which is the average time of a Fortnite match. Agent Jonesy brings a bunch of people to the Fortnite Island to protect the 0 point like the Mandalorian. Throughout the season, a ton of crossovers happen with people coming to the Fortnite Island, like Ryu from Street Fighter 2, Daryl from The Walking Dead, Master Chief from Halo, and Kratos from God of War. The trailer for Season 6 starts with Jonesy betraying I.O. because the 0 point starts to implode and he wants to save everyone, while I.O. is telling him to let it implode since it will just be remade. So, Jonesy calls for the 7 to help him out. After some persuasion, Jonesy and the 7 leader, known as the Foundation, team up and stabilize the 0 point. They stabilize it by turning it into the Spire, which is a giant rock tower. However, the Foundation gets teleported to a different reality and ends up in Gotham City. Season 6 was kind of boring because it was just primal weapons and dinosaurs. Not really anything to talk about for the story-wise. Season 7 starts out with an alien spaceship flying over the Spire and using a tractor beam to yoink it out of the ground and then blow it up. Then, I.O. is forced to go to the island to get rid of the aliens by teaming up with the Loopers. During the mission to get rid of the aliens, the loopers go on their ship to set up bombs to blow up the ship. However, the loopers see things that are very concerning. There are more cubes, just like Kevin, which, in recap, he blew up an entire island. Io ends up betraying the loopers and blowing up the alien ship with them on it. The loopers end up surviving, and they see that the aliens are just a smaller part of a bigger threat, the last reality. The last reality is controlled by the Cube Queen. The Cube Queen sends her cubes and monsters to destroy the island as she charges up her power. However, there are blue cubes that help the loopers defeat the Cube Queen by making shields. Right as the fight seems to not be in the loopers' favor, the Seven flies in to help. The Seven takes the loopers into a bunker, where they meet up with Jonesy and the Foundation, who is revealed to be Dwayne Johnson. The Seven starts to flip the island, so everyone has to swim out of the bunker. In the distance, we see the island as it's flipped. The Cube Queen ends up getting defeated because she can't touch water, just like the monsters. And now we move on to Chapter 3. This chapter starts by the loopers washing ashore and listening to the Foundation as he explains how they plan to free everyone from the loop. In Season 1, the island has a bunch of spiderwebs around the map, and there is a POI, point of interest, that is a block of New York City with the Daily Bugle. Not a lot happens that season. At the start of Season 2, there's a big fight with Io and the Seven. Io disables building, and for a while, there was no building allowed when you played the game. After a bit, Epic Games made it an option to play whether with or without building. During this season, they revealed 2 more members of the Seven. One is the Imagined, and the other was the former Cube King, now known as the Origin. The whole season long, the fight continued between Io and the Seven, with sections of the map being for the specific sides. The event during that season was a big battle between the 2 sides, and at the end of the battle, the fan-favorite character Peely saved the day by bringing a truck to heal the Seven's mech so they could finish the fight. Season 3 was a season all about chilling out and relaxing after the big fight. The 0 point was exposed again during the big battle, but no one seemed to care. This attracted the attention of a new threat to the island. The Herald is a being that controls a substance called chrome. The Seven was doing research on chrome, but then the chrome consumed them and destroyed their base. The Paradigm was the only one to survive the attack and got flung next to the 0 point, so she entered it and went to another reality to figure out a plan to defeat the new threat. During the event, the loopers tried shooting at the Herald, but that didn't work. They lost, and, well, the rest of the event is the loopers fixing the 0 point, which then takes parts of other realities to create the new Fortnite island. Now, we begin the final chapter, Chapter 4. The island has a bunch of new things added, including new people added to the loop, like the guy from Doom and Deku from My Hero Academia.
Oh, I'm watching My Hero Academia! Loser!
Season 1 was pretty confusing and not worth going too in-depth. The story isn't really shown on the island like other storylines. It's more hidden for only dedicated players that finish the quests. So, long story short, in Season 1, another big bad guy tried getting to the Fortnite island, but failed. Season 2 was pretty similar with the storyline being kind of hidden. But this time we had a brand new POI on the map called Mega City with a ton of futuristic items to go along with it. After Season 2, Season 3 started with the center of the island crumbling and caving in to reveal some old ruins, which apparently are from the Transformers. It's revealed that Dr. Sloan is still alive. She ends up needing help to get rid of the Seven and the Loopers, so she calls in an old friend, Kato Thorne. This is the start of Season 4. Kato Thorne has a bunch of bases around the map with vaults in them. He's like Midas in a way. He has treasures hidden in his vaults that he has stolen with the help of his time machine. And so far, that's it. You are now caught up with the current Fortnite storyline in a simple form factor. please consider subscribing. This project took me a very long time to make. I even have a full printed script of this entire video. So, subscribing and liking the video would really help. Anyways, thanks for watching.